kunja bihari. Gopijana vallabha girivaradhari. Gopijana vallabha girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Rajajana Randana. Yashodanandana Rajajana Randana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana vallabha girivaradhari. Gopijana Yashodanandana Rajajana Randana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nitya Gaur, Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaur, Haribo, Nitya Gaur. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanand, Hari Hari Bol. Welcome you all to this beautiful class of Bhagavad Gita. I see some similar faces coming. It's very inspiring. That means people have a continuous desire of education, which is exact sign of Brahmana. Because him is impossible to imagine without studying. Even if there is no chance to preach, he still goes out studying. Same thing, he gives donation. Even if he doesn't receive donation, he gives donation. And even he doesn't have a chance to teach or perform yaga for someone else, he does yaga for himself. So these are patana patana, yajana yajana, dana pratikriha. So we are continuing with the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is in the section of middle chapters, but somehow it is, as Mataji couple classes ago asked, how come? Something to do with bhakti, but there is suddenly material, universal form. How it is? We'll find out today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Probably by looking already for the last 10 minutes, you know by heart, right? You know by heart? Nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā. Nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā. Na dānena na cejyayā. Na dānena na cejyayā. Śakya evaṁ-vidho draṣṭum. Śakya evaṁ-vidho draṣṭum. dṛṣṭavān simham yathā. dṛṣṭavān simham yathā. nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā. Na dānena na cejyayā. śakyam evaṁ-vidho draṣṭum. dṛṣṭavān simham yathā.
Idam tapasā. Dānena cejyayā. evam-vidham draṣṭum. śakya-evam-vidho draṣṭum. dṛṣṭavān simham yathā. nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā. dānena na cejyayā.
Śakya evaṁ-vidho draṣṭum. dṛṣṭavān simham yathā. Okay, let's not wait.
Nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā.
Tapasā.
dānena cejyayā.
Dānena cejyayā.
śakya-evam-vidho draṣṭum.
śakya-evam-vidho draṣṭum.
dṛṣṭavān simham yathā.
dṛṣṭavān.
Nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā. dānena na cejyayā. śakya-evam-vidho draṣṭum. dṛṣṭavān simham yathā.
Nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā. dānena cejyayā. śakya-evam-vidho draṣṭum. dṛṣṭavān simham yathā.
Mataji?
Nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā. dānena na cejyayā. śakya-evam-vidho draṣṭum. dṛṣṭavān simham yathā.
Okay. So synonyms word by word. Na, never. Aham, I. Vedair, by study of the Vedas. Na, never. Tapasā, by serious penances. Na, never. Dānena, by charity. Na, never. Cha, also. Ijyayā, by worship. Śakya, it is possible. Evam-vidho, like this. Draṣṭum, to see. dṛṣṭavān, seeing. Asi, you are. Mam, me. Yathā, as. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. Purport. Kṛṣṇa first appeared before his parents, Devakī and Vasudeva, in a four-handed form. And then he transformed himself in a two-handed form. This mystery is very difficult to understand for those who are atheists and who are devoid of devotional service. For scholars who have simply studied Vedas, Vedic literature, by way of grammatical knowledge, are mere academic qualifications. Kṛṣṇa is not possible to understand, nor to be understood by persons who officially go to temple to offer worship. What about those who are unofficially go? Officially. They visit, but they cannot understand Kṛṣṇa as he is. Kṛṣṇa can be understood only by the path of devotional service, as explained by Kṛṣṇa himself in next verse. Don't show the next verse. It's too good to be. We'll touch a little bit of that. Om-jnana-timirandasya jnananjana-śalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I was chanting rounds in the morning and I couldn't chant properly today because I was thinking, what kind of class I'm going to give today? I'm going to tell this, I'm going to tell that. No, this also. It's such a strange meditation while chanting japa. And in my mind, the class was so ecstatic, everybody was like in ecstasy. We'll see how it goes today. First of all, I have to ask you, what is the reason why you came to this class today? Can you answer to yourself? It takes 30 seconds to calm down and a little bit become honest, not too proud. Why I came today?
To increase our devotion.
Good.
Devotion.
Then we can be regular in bhakti.
Right. Our ISKCON has a GBC, and GBC has an education ministry. You know that? We are regulating all the Bhakti Shastris, Bhakti Vows, exams and everything that is done there. And I recently opened the page and there was such a beautiful short course given by not other than Urmila Mataji. You know Urmila Mataji?
Yes.
Such a beautiful teacher.
Yes.
I think she's giving this year and last year in VHE some courses about Dharma and everything. And she gave a course about how to give a class, how to give lecture. But even more, how to prepare whole teaching, maybe one class, maybe the whole seminar, like 20 classes. And that sprinkled me to some interesting ideas. And I was thinking, one of the main points is, and the same actually is taught also by Burjan Prabhu. He has also a beautiful book. You know the book? Art of Teaching. He also gave seminar on that book. And one of the main points is, when you start class, you think, what my listeners will be able to do at the end of class. And this has to be kind of specific idea. Not idea, but actually skill which you can show. I'm not going to say, for example, I want that all the listeners today appreciate the value of Bhagavad Gita. Because everything says, yes, I appreciate. But how can I know you appreciate or not? You cannot show it outside. If I say, by the end of a class, 50% of the people around will be able to recite first 2 lines of the shloka without looking at the board. That would be more specific, as explicit and implicit. So I was thinking, what would be the goal for this class? You have some ideas which you would like to have come out, and I said, wow, this I will carry with me for a long time. So, yes?
To understand what the sloka actually means.
Well, understand this is also how you can express, I understand or not, you know. Because this consists of 2 parts. There's nothing wrong with it, because there is an aim of the education. Increase our devotional service, understanding, getting closer to this particular day. And I was thinking exactly what I told already, what this shloka means, but also sometimes even for us who are such a short memory, to remember 4 things is difficult. You know, if the Shukadeva Goswami can remember all Srimad Bhagavatam, just, you know, and just recite thousands of verses, you know. For us, even electricity goes out and we can't remember, although we hear it already 4 times, 5 times, right? So, therefore, by the end of class, I will boil down these 4 things into 2. And you'll see how it goes. Let's start with a little warning, you know. Everybody read the whole Bhagavad Gita at least once? Yeah. Soon in 18th chapter will be some verse. And Krishna says, this confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere, not devoted, not engaged in devotional service, or who are envious of me. So anyone can put the hand on the chest and say, one of those things are not present. So that means, shall we go on? I cannot explain, this is Krishna's prohibition. Even more, listen to that. Tattva Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami writes in text 6. I listened to the seminary of Gopi Parandhana by his time. He was explaining this thing and he was also amazed, but then he gave a commentary. Only one whose main desire is to worship lotus feet of Lord Krishna should read this book, Tattva Sandarbha. Everyone else, I warn them off with a curse. That's the personal words of Jiva Goswami, you know. Yah Shri Krishna Panamboja, Yah Shri Krishna Puda Amboja, Bhajana Ha Bilasava. This is the verse. Tenai Drishtaya Etat, Ayasmai Shapato Aprita. So Shapato is like curse, like I warn you off, Kush, 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 go away. Because if you listen, some topics, they can be harmful. Either because you do offense, or you lose the faith because you expect something and it doesn't go like this, and talk some other subjects, or too deep or too shallow, and I lose my faith, and this class was nonsense. So this is also a warning of the teacher's training course. If you speak too deep, people come like blank, I can't catch it, it's just too much. Smoke coming out my ears. If too simple, it was boring, right? So actually, for big class, a more bigger class, it's more difficult to talk exactly. But Srila Prabhupada did it, so we can do it as well. Let's start. So, what is the most contradictory of those things? 4. Vedas, tapasā, dānena, or ijyayā. Not by Vedas, not by austerity, not by charity, and not by worship. So how come he cannot achieve or see Lord by worship or by studying Vedas?
He's talking about that kind of worship that people just do.
Commentary, that's beautiful, because without commentary we will not understand what Krishna means. Let's unfold it. At the same time, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned, 2.25, explaining about soul. Soul is invisible, inconceivable, immutable, so on, so on, so on. And the Purport, Prabhupada again says, there is no source understanding identify the factor except authority of the mother. For, if you are asked, who is my father? You go to mother and she'll tell you, he's your father. Similarly, there is no source of understanding the soul except studying the Vedas. So Vedas also compared to the mother. So interesting, right? Just for that, I remember the beautiful explanations coming from Lord Chaitanya, who read a little bit of Chaitanya Bhagavata. There is a young age when he was this logician teacher. He used to do this trick. He said, okay, who want to compete with me in a philosophical or logical argument? And so, somebody tried and said, okay, let me establish there some statement from the scriptures. And he very nicely quotes, and everything, very beautiful. Now what I do, I completely turn the whole ring around and refute my statements. I'm like, how's that possible? You read in the scriptures, and he again finds the scriptures, and again, and completely turns around his own statement. Now see, I turn again to the first one. So everybody was just completely amazed. So we're going to do the same. Because from one point of view, we're saying without Vedas it's impossible to understand the soul. Yeah? There's many quotes like that. Like, for example, if you want to advance in a spiritual knowledge, Bhagavad Gita 4.28, it says that having accepted strict vows, Krishna explains, some become enlightened by sacrificing their positions. Now, the same things which are rejected here. Now goes on confirming. Many are enlightened by sacrificing their possessions, and other performing severe austerities, by practicing yoga of Eightfold System, or by studying Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge. Right? So how come? He is saying one in one verse and then rejecting later. Let's see. Universal form. The same chapter, a little bit few verses ago. So now he's seeing, actually Krishna is showing his 2-hour form, right? Before he was showing universal form, then he showed 4 arms, same like he did when He was appearing at birth. When you appear at birth, you show forearm, and then finally you have two arms, and they become baby. Yes. So in the 11th chapter 48 verse, it is explained. Na veda yajya-dhyanayar, na dānair, na chakriyabir, na tapobir ugrai. Not very, whatever. So, best of Kurus, warriors, no one before you have ever seen this universal form of mine. So, that we know. For neither by studying Vedas, not by performing sacrifices, not by charity, not by pious activities, nor by severe penances I can be seen in this form. So again he says, no, cannot be. So why the Vedas are so unreliable? So very early in Bhagavad Gita, in second chapter, we know there is a warning given by Krishna. 42-43. Man of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery Vedas, words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities. Elevation to heavenly planets, results for good birth, power, and so on. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say there is nothing more than this. And that's a problem. Because when you study Vedas, you have your own ideas. And many times, to keep people active, Prabhupada many times said, why Vedas talk about karma? About truth and results. Why? I gave a hint already. Why?
Because not everybody is ready for devotion, so it's a step.
Well, that's very high, true. Let's take a little bit lower. Because people are lazy. So if the people are lazy, they don't want to do anything. Unless, in Russian it's saying, if there is no thunder, the holy person will not do his mantras, So, I think there was very jokingly anecdote about who is the most lazy person, and the king advertised something like that and said, well, the most lazy person, I'll give him lots of wealth because he win the competition. And there was different ways, but finally he set the fire up on a few houses, and the two guys were lying down, and they were like, fire, the whole house is burning. And I was just like, okay, it's getting too hot, let's turn on the side. House is burning down, and it's like a bit too hot, They were lazy to get up and run out of house, and they win the competition. So, because we are lazy by the nature, and if we are having enough food, if we are having enough place to live, and if the place is even air-conditioned, no way of getting out. No way. We can sit there, we can read the scriptures, we can do our puja at home, but no preaching going on, right? No sankirtana, no book distribution. But I will do all these things. I will do austerity. Okay, I will eat once a day, but at home. I'll do my puja, but at home, air-conditioned room. Yes, what else there? Charity. Okay, I'll feed ants. There is a style how Indian people do. They have these bread crumbles and they go around and put in the ants. Because they have I will feed 1,000 living beings every day. Not devotees, ants at least. Okay, but 1,000. So we can do all these things, but are they really beneficial for us or pleasing for Krishna? Not really. So, let's jump a little bit higher. Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 18.4, is comparing the knowledge to the service. The Lord is always prepared to excuse his devotees. So this is whole system, actually the explanation chapter is going, how merciful Lord is. So he's ready to excuse his devotees. But if a devotee takes advantage of the Lord's leniency and purposely commits some mistake again and again, the Lord will certainly punish him by letting him fall down into the clutches of illusory energy Maya. In other words, theoretical knowledge acquired by studying Vedas is insufficient to protect one from clutches of Maya. One must strongly adhere to the lotus feet of the Lord in devotional service. Then one's position is secure. Straight away, soon after that goes the story of Ajamila. You know Ajamila. Before the whole thing goes, it goes very short, nice description. Actually the first chapter summary, even before verses, Prabhupada says, to prove a strength of devotional service, to show how good it is, Shukadeva Goswami describes the history of Ajamila. Now listen. He was trained by his parents to become perfect Brahmana by studying the Vedas and following regulative principles. Right? We know the story what goes on, but this is how it starts. He was perfect Brahmana by studying Vedas, but his position was still not secure. He had to fall down, and he had his prostitute and had 10 kids, and so on, so on, so on. So, careful about Vedas, again. So, we can go on, go on, and on. What is proper path? What is devotional service? And actually, besides devotional service, there is also even more difficult, because the form which Krishna is showing to Arjuna is not even easy to attain by normal devotional service. Let's see. We have to understand what is bhakti. So here it is explained exactly the same things which were denied. This no good, this no good, this no good, this no good. Almost same things. I'm counting 4 here, which are in positive way. I offer, this is 7.9.50. I offer my respectful obeisance and due, because without rendering 6 kinds of devotional services to you, well, it mentions 6, I counted 4. Anyways, 6 kinds of devotional services. By offering prayers, dedicating all results and activities to you, worshipping you, working on your behalf, always remembering lotus feet, and hearing about your glories. That's 5. Who can achieve what is meant for Paramahamsas? So he's counting same things exactly, but it's kind of a little bit differently put. Who can do all these things? But there's a, how to say, implicit and explicit. Everybody knows these 2 words, implicit, explicit? Kind of have an idea. There was very tricky way how one linguist explained things. Let's say I come to you and ask you a question. Did you stop beating your father? Did you stop beating your father? So what is your answer? Yes or no? Yes. That means you you admit that you beating your father and you stopped it, right? And you said no, that means you're still beating. So this statement has an implicit confirmation, like statement that you are beating your father. And it's not even out of question to discuss it. The question is, did you stop it? So this is implicit, which is inside, not mentioned, but it is understood by the context, Explicit like means you're saying straight away. Beautiful example is given by Rupa Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami in his Vilapa Kusumanjali. And he says in one of the verses, he's kind of praying to Radharani, saying, when that day will come, when I see Krishna approaching you, and outwardly you will say, no, go away. But inwardly, you'll be saying, yes, 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 yes. So this is explicit and implicit. That means outside you can understand, and inside you cannot understand. So turning a little bit back to the educational system, we can understand. If you teach something, the skill, the result has to be explicit. That means you have to show. So if you passing exam and you cannot, by heart pronounce those verses which are required for Bhakti Shastra or something like that, if you didn't pass. Implicit, yes, you have deep, deep understanding of Bhakti. But every teacher will say, by the end of his class, we have to know 4 things. It's not touchscreen. I would like to scroll down so you don't see. But as I promised, we don't have 4. We're going to boil down to 2. We'll see in a short while. So, we came about that these same processes which are turned towards Krishna, they're actually acceptable. The same Vedic scriptures, giving example, knowledge about soul, giving transcendental knowledge. The same worship, if you do properly, it will give you bhakti, Why Prabhupada established so much deities? Although, deity itself doesn't mean anything. Who have been to the Banki Bihari here in Vrindavan? Everybody, at least once, right? Why there's so many people there? Who knows? Because there's rumors that he's giving any blessing you want. And because mostly people have material desires, to whom they go? They go to Banki Bihari. Right. And therefore sometimes even, in Indian culture, people are afraid to chant Hare Krishna or Hari Hari because they know that Krishna will take away material attachments, Therefore, some deities are not very popular because they take away and you left without anything, only bhakti left. So, besides those things, the next step is what? We need the mercy of a devotee. So this is for Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 6.151. One who has a Vedic knowledge, one who has no Vedic knowledge, who has not studied Vedas from bona fide spiritual master, does not know Krishna. So, prerequisite, one who doesn't have a spiritual knowledge and one who has not studied from spiritual master. That means an opposite, it's like if you don't want to lose your material attachments, don't go to Keshigat, don't look at go in the day. So same thing, if you don't have these 2, then you cannot know Krishna. Opposite would be, if you want to know Krishna, you have to have 2 things. You have to have Vedic knowledge and you have to study it from spiritual master. So this is about from same verse commentary. The less intelligent man cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead without being favored by his devotee. Therefore, Krishna says Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidi Panipatena Pariprasnena Seva. You go to the devotee and ask him, you get the blessings. Oh, Krishna, Krishna. I wanted to run ahead and a little bit read from the next verse, which is explained that what is so nice, but I think it's too much. Now, we'll have also a little bit of counting things coming from Prahlad Maharaj. This is 7th canto. Very nice verse. Oh, my dear friends, oh sons of demons, he says. He speaks to young kids. You cannot please Supreme Personality of Godhead, perfectly good, by becoming perfect brahmanas, demigods or great saints, or becoming a perfectly good in etiquette, in vast learning. It just counts all things. None of these qualifications can awaken the pleasure of the Lord, nor by charity, nor by austerity, sacrifice, cleanliness, or vows can one satisfy Lord. Again, what's going on? The Lord is pleased only if one has unflinching, unalloyed devotion to Him. Without sincere devotional service, everything is simply a show. That means show bottle sannyas, When it's Indian show bottle, this, why Prabhupada used this show bottle. In some shops there is to show that they have lots of nice things, They put full shelves of bottles, which are never used, which are never sold. This is just the bottles with some, colorful liquid, and you think, oh yeah, it's 2 liters of most perfect oil, sandal oil, but actually just pink water. Nothing. Yeah, but the full shop is the show bottle. So that's it. So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj, if you don't have these unalloyed devotional service, he counts these, no good. But if you have this, and like Prabhupada said, you have one in the beginning, then as many zeros, it's value. Take one off, zeros, completely useless. So, also we can say about the real worship and prayers, many things. I have very, very beautiful attachment to one prayers. I don't know how it's going to work. I tried to do it, and we'll see how it works. Maybe it will work. Not sure. Probably it's too quiet.
Oh, Kṛṣṇa. As the river Ganges forever flows to the sea, let my mind, my being, be constantly drawn to Thee. O most gentle, O original personality, master of the senses, seated in the hearts of all that be, existing both within and without, seeing all but seen by none. Unto you I offer all my respects. O Kṛṣṇa, O soul of the universe, beyond the range of our perception, covered by the curtain of misconception, we are bewildered by your movements. Though you work, you are inactive. Though you take birth, you are unborn. And though you descend amongst men, sages, animals, and aquatics, you are the transcendent reality. And although you are unknown, above all that be, you reveal yourself to the surrendered souls who worship you in the core of their hearts. Unto you I offer all my respects. O Kṛṣṇa, O eternal master and friend, once when you were a small child, your mother Yashoda took a rope to bind you. Your perturbed eyes filled with tears, and though fear personified is afraid of you, at that moment, you were afraid. How can I understand these things? O my Lord, I offer all to you. O Lord, whose glance is as cool as a lotus, who protected us from a great fire, from a poisoned cave, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly of the Kurus, from sufferings and exile, from a fierce battle, from a devastating weapon. You befriended us and stayed with us and guided us through all tribulations. I offer myself and whatever I have unto you. My Lord, your loving kindness and mercy often come clothed in strange guises. enveloped in a shroud of tribulation. Yet our journey through life is made easy by these hardships you provide. O Lord, let us not falsely claim that this world is our home. Let us not ever forget that this place is full of danger. But let the calamities come again and again, that we may remember you and meet with you again and again. For by remembering you, we no longer meet with repeated birth and death. O Kṛṣṇa, those who always hear your glories, who always repeat your glories, who always see you in all things, who always take pleasure in your pastimes, certainly find shelter at your lotus feet. My Lord, you can be easily approached, but only by those who are exhausted with sensual pleasure, unimpressed with opulence, unimpressed with fame and wealth, with prestigious birth, with scholarship, only by those who are finished with idle talk, finished with mundane beauty, finished with all forms of religiosity. My Lord, I am not afraid to be abandoned by luck, by good fortune, by friends or relatives. I am not afraid to be handled roughly. I am not afraid to wander the streets homeless like a beggar. I am not afraid to be cast away, condemned, quarantined, or exiled. O most gentle, most holy, most merciful Master, help me, prepare me. Do whatever is necessary to render fit this unworthy soul for entrance into your eternal abode.
The same exactly prayers which were said by Queen Kunti, but just a little bit different rendering, and it touches our heart, you know. So these prayers are compared to those which are usually we do in front of deities. If you have material desires, they are really feeding our soul, and by hearing them we can do quite different steps forward to our spiritual advancement. So I could have told a little bit more about Vrindavan vision, but it seems we're running out of time. Okay, why I wanted to summary these two things? Because the main definition of bhakti, which comes from, who knows there's a best definition of bhakti? Anya Bilashita Sanyam. Yeah. And there's two things only. What was there?
Unmotivated, uninterrupted.
No. Second line? No. Second line? Jnana karmade anavritam. Jnana and karma. So these are two things. If we take these four, what do you think Vedas fits in what? Jnana, right? Tapasā, not really jnana. It's more like karmic. Dānena, even more. This is charitable activity. This is the karmic. And ijyayā also. So basically, first one and last three ones. These are two categories. So what's the problem with them? Problem with them is what? If you do jnana, what's the problem with jnana? Usually, you don't want to do much. You like to think and speculate and so on. And many sannyasis says, you want to think, but you never want to come to conclusion. Because if you come to conclusion, what's the result? You have to start doing something. But they like to say, hypothesis, we think so, probably it is like that. Because one day, if they don't say probably, or this is mostly, I think so, then somebody says, this for sure, they don't accept. No. Because if somebody says, it's like this is truth, that means they have to stop speculating and start acting. Okay, what's wrong with karma? I think it's easier than that. Karma is usually you do it for yourself. Bhagavad Gita, beginning, explains very nicely, karma is good, but You have to join it together with jnana. So now goes completely unique category of acting without desiring a result, and at the same time having jnana and joining together, if that happens. You know the term? Nishkam Karma Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga. Yoga, of course. If you don't connect to the Lord, it will not be yoga, you know. Nishkam. That means you don't have desires of your own. The only desire is to please the Lord and spiritual master. So, first class. So, when you go out of this class, what you will remember? This is test. Not, I'm asking you, like I'm testing you, but actually I'm testing myself. How sufficient, how good I was today in my teaching. So, what is the most, what do you remember from this class?
Stop beating your father.
Oh, that was true. Sometimes there's jokes. There's sometimes sayings which are very, very much catchy. And Urmila Mataji explained, this is easy, making the science easy. And Prabhupada used it very, very often. For example, if you don't worship God, you worship dog. Right? This is very known, you know, and it's like, wow, beats you out of the normal system, you know, back to Godhead, going back to Godhead. This is like a thing which is really stuck in your mind, and you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until it comes in a daily life, you know, karma, you know, incarnation, you know, the huge, you know, Hollywood, not Hollywood, you know, even, yeah, Hollywood, not Bollywood, movies, you know, Avatar, you know, right? But it comes a daily life, karma, avatars, things like that become your daily understanding because of one person who has a strength, as a previous class you heard a little bit who was there, and Prabhupada once said, why they worship me? What do you mean? You know? Why worship you? Because it's only... No, because I gave up sexual desire. I gave up sex. So Prabhupada said, if you are able to reject, not reject, but because of devotional service, become strong and be independent of those things which all the people around value so much and really dependent on them, really value you. You know? If you see the wealthy person, you think two things. Either give me money or give me knowledge how to become wealthy, right? So, exactly. So, same thing, holy person. If you really value a holy person, what do you want to know? You want to have blessings for yourself, to have your spiritual life? Or you want to follow his footsteps? Give me knowledge how to do it same as you did. How to become a preacher, how to become a devotee of Lord. So Krishna will provide you everything, but you will not want it, you will not value it. It will be easy, it's like automatic, you know. Like, you know, philosophical stone, you know, yeah, it's in the garbage somewhere. Something like that, you will not value. So therefore, the vision which is here is more valuable than anything what could Arjuna or us could desire. And it's some nice verse which I cannot exactly quote, but said, if you look at the Krishna, because, of course, this whole philosophical idea, he's source of everything and everything. So if you look at Krishna, how he stands, he is source of everything. If you have him, you have automatically everything else. You don't need to desire wealth, health, whatever it is, you know. But that form can be seen only because of this devotional heart. And therefore, we can say the form which Krishna is showing here, it's so rare, it's not possible to see. Not because it's so rare, like it's once in a day of Brahma and so on, But actually that form which Arjuna is seeing is full of love. And that form of Lord is not just standing, okay, like, paint, okay, like this, like that. This color and that color. No. The form is full of love which is radiating from Krishna. That is rare. When we see the deities, what do we see? When we see the picture, what do we see? Exactly, we see the pastimes. Prabhupada did with some of the artists. One artist said he painted something, some pastime of Krishna. And Prabhupada asked, what is this? Well, I think there was such a new beautiful thing and this is nice. And well, where did you read? Did you read it in the Krishna book or somewhere? No, I think it was like no. You should paint only those things which are revealed by scriptures. So when we look at Krishna, we can see the deities. When we see Gauranitai so happy and dancing, and at the same time so gorgeously dressed. When? Who can answer? In Jagannath Puri, no, he was shaved and he was saffron clothed, right? So when he was like that? Mayapur, no. When he met Mayapur, he already... Well, Mayapur, yeah, okay. Close. When? When was marriage? When he was getting married. So actually, when we dress Chaitanya Nityananda like that, that means that's his marriage day. He never been so beautifully dressed. Never. Same thing when we see Krishna Balaram, when we see Radha Shyama Sundar, we have to understand what's the situation, what they're doing, what they have interaction, And then we will start different form of Krishna. And that form of Krishna start to talk with us and start shine the love with us and start giving the understanding which we never seen. And actually nobody's seen like that before too. Krishna says nobody's seen this form before. No. Even that form, although there's 200 people standing around us in the temple, the form we see, nobody sees. Because we have a personal relationship. And that interaction gradually develops, and every time we develop devotion, we see something more in that form. And therefore, every form of Lord we see is unique. Same as universal form. It's never shown to anyone else. It will never be shown, because even if Krishna shows universal form, he will not show in the same way. For a different person, different way. And especially when you see the explanation that so many mouths and hands and so on, you can see, yes, usually it's painted like Krishna, like so many mouths and hands and eating. But actually, devotee sees different. Because devotee sees that Krishna is acting through the devotees. You see every devotee around you, he's hands of Krishna. Every Brahmana who is eating prasadam, he's mouth of Krishna, right? And so many things, And beautiful Matajis, they are beauty of Krishna. So, this is a vision of the universal form which devotee sees. Completely different from Arjuna. And also, the form which we see, currently deity form, or hopefully we see personally Krishna, if we have devotional service, will be different from anyone else. So, remember those things of karma and jnana. Don't think and meditate, act. Don't be karmi, don't do it for yourself, do it for Krishna. So therefore, then these two things can be avoided, no karma, no jnana, contamination. So therefore, the pure bhakti will come when these things go. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. I have 5 minutes too much, but you can ask questions if you wish.
One question.
Yes.
This karma, yoga and bhakti is like, it is different, but by karmic action, we are doing karma and after that we are thinking it is we are doing for Krishna, but we are doing for it ourselves gratification.
Well, because we are originally doing for sense gratification. And gradual development process, we will do for sense gratification ourselves, but we join Krishna a little bit. When you go around the temple, you see people taking photos. How they take photo? Like this, Krishna in the back. I'm in the front, Krishna in the back. So I'm important, and I join to my karmic, to my personal life, I join Krishna a little bit, when it's needed, We have shalagram, right? You take it out, you worship, and you put it in the box and shove it in a cupboard. Till next time you need to make prasadam. He's the prasadam making machine, So you get free of karma. So basically, in a gradual process of devotion, development, you do the same activity, but you join a little bit Krishna, which is perfect, which is sambandha jnana. We should try to join everything, how it's connected to Krishna, including our life. But then will be that ijyayā, which was denied here, will be two ijyayā, two different worship. There's home worship and there's a temple worship. Home worship, we worship how? Krishna is our guest. Krishna is our guest in home. So guest means he eats whatever we eat. We don't prepare for him specially. We like this, this. And okay, you're a guest. Okay, you get it also. This is guest worship in the home. In temple, no. Temple, he's Bhagavan. He eats when he wants, what he wants, and we get remnants. Not in home. In Melbourne, there was even so bad that grihastha devotees, they go prepare 6 times a day some bhoga for Lord. There's also 3 deities, Jagannath and Gaurnita and Radha Vallabha, and Indian devotees. And what do you think happens? The wife, after a while, said, I want to eat kachori tonight. Okay, go to the temple, make kachoris, and bring it back. So they prepare whatever wife is ordering, take off Mahaprasad and bring home. So therefore, temple president made a rule. You can take as much Mahaprasadam you want, but not the one which you cooked. So, you cook for Krishna. Somebody else cook for Krishna, you take that one as real prasad. And you cook for Krishna and somebody else will take it. So this is proper. You don't cook for yourself. Even in temple, you can be a little bit of this ijyayā, which is not supported here. So our proper worship is you worship for Him. When we're getting older, we cannot eat many things. And even we cook some sabji without spices, we put it aside. But for Lord, we offer full meal. So that's proper. So gradually, that selfishness goes away as more Krishna comes in lives, the more selfishness goes away. Like that. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Bhagavad Gita ki jai.